Are you interested in learning about intelligence and whether intelligence can be increased in children? If so, I'm going to teach you about the growth mindset and why the growth mindset is the first step in increasing intelligence in your child. For the best parenting advice and tips on YouTube, subscribe to my channel now, seedtostem.com, and hit the bell to be notified when I release a new video on Thursdays. I'd like to start off by telling you a true story about kids getting smarter. Marva Collins was a second grade English teacher in downtown Chicago with a class full of students that had very low levels of reading comprehension. In fact, some of these kids had been labeled as being learning disabled and emotionally disturbed. Yet, by the end of the school year, something remarkable had occurred. These students were rating at a 5th grade level, all the way from a 2nd to a 5th grade level, reading such complex texts as Aristotle and Poe. It was a remarkable turnaround.
Who's your favorite author?
Jeffrey Chaucer and Shakespeare. Booker T. Washington and Hans Christian Andersen. My favorite book is The Greek Myth.
Greek myths.
I like Fyodor Dostoevsky and Dante Alighieri and Shakespeare.
And your favorite book?
Divine Comedy.
Now, clearly Mrs. Collins was a remarkable, emphatic educator who believed in her kids. And that's why her name will live on in education history. But the point of this video is to not focus on how Mrs. Collins engineered this remarkable turnaround, but to remind us that intelligence is not a fixed trait. The brain is like a muscle, that it can be grown. With the right process, strategy, and effort, humans are capable of remarkable things. Another example celebrated by the CBS show 60 Minutes. Kids in Franklin County, Mississippi were taught chess. Now, these were kids with little dreams and expectations, but within 2 years, they were transformed into strategic, confident, mentally tough chess players who were beating kids much older than them at the state championship. It was a remarkable story of kids exceeding expectations.
This gives them a window at a young age that, hey, there's a whole world out there. I don't need to set my goals at making $8 an hour. I need to set my goals at whatever I want them to be.
So, at this point, you may be wondering, so how does the brain actually get smarter? Well, research into neuroplasticity has shown that the connections between the neurons in our brain can both strengthen and grow with the right process, effort, and most importantly, mental mindset. In fact, research has shown that by adopting a mindset that your brain can grow, with the right strategy, your brain does grow. And that leads to more achievements and motivation. In 2008, a fascinating study was published called Improving Fluid Intelligence with Training on Working Memory by these researchers. Now, their research found that when students were trained for 1 to 2 weeks on an intensive working memory task, the scores on those tasks naturally increased. Now, that's not that surprising, but what was actually very surprising was those kids' scores improved on a completely unrelated cognitive task that the kids had not practiced for. What had happened? The kids had literally trained their brains to get smarter.
We're able to improve fluid intelligence, which is the ability to think creatively, productively, not just recalling things that come from memory, by training what most people call short-term memory, what psychologists often call working memory. This is a remarkable result because it's often thought that fluid intelligence is something that you're born with. We're able to show this not only in young adults, which is what our first experiment was about, but also in young children. We've also shown that the longer you train short-term memory, the more improvement you get in IQ.
So, I bet you're wondering, how can I grow my intelligence? Well, I'm not here to sell you a quick win solution. The reality is it's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of effort, energy, process, discipline, and a little bit of luck. But one of the key pillars is having a growth mindset. By learning how to apply a growth mindset to your daily life, you can train your brain how to be more resilient, how to be more creative, how to be more optimistic, and smarter. In the next video, I'm going to dive deep into neuroplasticity, which is the science behind rewiring your brain. But if you can't wait, here are 3 things you can do to grow your brain starting today. Get enough sleep. Research has shown that the brain consumes over 30% of the energy your body needs. And so the more your brain gets to rest and recharge, the stronger your mind is going to be. Learn an instrument. Research has shown that when you're playing an instrument, the neurons in your brain are all lighting up. It's like fireworks are going off in your head. Research has also shown that learning an instrument increases your math and spatial reasoning skills. So kids, sorry, but piano lesson is not an option. Third, challenge yourself by trying out new activities. I like to play with STEM toys with my kids. This is a particularly good set. It's harder than it looks. Another way I like to challenge myself is by reading. Every night I read a book. This is one of my favorites. It's The Growth Mindset by Dr. Carol S. Dweck. All right, let's net it out. Here are the 3 key points from today's video. First, research has shown that when kids understand that their brains can grow with the right strategy, process, and discipline, that their brains actually do get smarter, leading to more confidence, better grades, and more motivation. In fact, the wild thing is that they get smarter at other activities that they haven't even practiced. Isn't that really cool? We also learned today that 3 little tips for increasing your brain power: getting more rest, challenging yourself, and learning an instrument. And the third and most important part of this is you got to understand the growth mindset, which is a central theme of this whole video series. So, I got a question now for you. What do you think about the research that intelligence can be increased? Have you seen an example of this in your own life? Something inspirational that you can share with the rest of us down below. If so, please do so. And if you liked the video, do me a favor, like it, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel. This lets me know to make more videos like this. I'll see you next Thursday, where we'll learn more about neuroplasticity. See ya.